Not gay. Still not gay.
There are tons of romance webtoons, but although the male leads in these webtoons may have fallen in love with their respective female leads, they can still have such wonderful chemistry with their male best friends too. It's so wonderful that sometimes it's a bit suspicious. But of course, there's absolutely no romance between those two guys. Well, depending on the lens you use. The main theme of the recommendations in this video is best friends in modern romance. So all webtoons featured shall have romance as the main genre. Romance in the modern setting in particular. I know boys love and harem and reverse harem are counted as romance titles too, but they're out of scope. With that, all of the duos to be featured in this video officially consider each other as best friends, as in it's canon. Well, if ever they didn't officially declare it, I'll still count them if they are obviously very close to each other anyway. There are a number of common traits or relationships or roles between pretty much all the pairs that will be featured in the video. First is that they've been close friends since childhood. They're so close that the male lead's family treats the friend as part of the family, and it's the same as with the friend's family. So, they treat each other as brothers, even if they're not related by blood. There's this one pair wherein the friend was legally adopted by the male lead's family. So, they somewhat became official brothers. They could also become brothers legally by becoming brothers-in-law. If not as a brother, the best friend usually acts like a proud father to the male lead. He is sometimes the happier one when the male lead has accomplished something. Putting aside the female lead, the best friend is the male lead's #1 supporter and fan. And whether the best friend becomes a love rival or not, we can expect him to act as the main couple's wingman or cupid anyway. It goes both ways too. It's possible that the male lead has acted as a wingman as well. Lastly, almost all the duos featured have clashing personalities. But you know what they say, opposites attract. With that, please note that for each duo featured, I won't be mentioning the names of the characters anymore, okay? I'll just be calling them as the ML or male lead and the BFF or BF or the best friend. If the female lead is somewhat involved in their bromance moments, I may call her as the FL. As for the title of the series where they belong to, I will indicate it here. To know where you can read it, I'll put the name of the platform around here. Only webtoons available in official English platforms will be included in this video. By the way, please also note that the pairings featured will not be ranked in any way. They'll just be grouped based on age group. Last but not the least, and this is quite important actually, please be warned that I will be mentioning slight spoilers, but don't worry, I won't say too much that it will ruin your reading experience with the series. I'll just mention enough teasers that will hopefully make you interested to find out the details of what I'm talking about. Well, that's the intention at least. Now, without further ado, let's start with the youngest age group, the high school students. In Our Beloved Summer, the main couple were like being filmed for some documentary, and the best friend is always there to watch and support on their every shoot. That's how inseparable these guys are. They're always together, they even go to school together. They're pretty much like family. Even the ML's parents treat the best friend as their second son. So, even if they're such experts in annoying each other, they also understand and care for the other the most. Sometimes, the ML is even kinda clingy to the partner. In My Stars and I, the ML and FL are childhood friends. They're the type who are obviously into each other, but they are too clueless to realize that their feelings are mutual. Anyway, if the ML isn't with just the FL, he hangs out with the best friend by default. Sometimes they're a trio, but the two guys would act like the FL's bodyguards. But these two are really incredibly close that one time, the female lead had fantasized them being in a romantic relationship. But in reality, both guys have a crush on the FL. The best friend just gave up and decided to become their wingman. There's another duo in the same series which have plenty of bromance moments too. And if I remember correctly, it's these two. And they are fruitier. Speaking of fruitiness, the duo in Swimming Lessons for a Mermaid are very direct. They do a lot of cringy stuff in public, including hugs of course. And it's always mutual since both of them are the emotional and touchy type. The one that caught me off guard the most was when the best friend called the ML as babe. Anyway, these two are also in a trio with a girl, but not with the FL. They are childhood friends who are always together and are very supportive of each other. Speaking of supportive, the ML is a competitive swimmer, you see, and his two friends had been his number one fans for a long time. They are so supportive and proud of the ML that they're pretty much like his parents. They actually know that and openly act as such. The ML had even literally called them as his mom and dad. It's somewhat as a joke, yes, but they play along. Anyway, although the ML also has some bromance moments with his love rival, they're nothing compared to his bond to his best friend. If it weren't for the female lead, the male lead sticks to his childhood friends, especially the best friend, like glue. For the next group, let's check out the duos who are studying in college or university. The duo in Nice to Meet You are roommates, and it's fun to see them annoy each other. It's more fun when the best friend gets his way and the ML gets bullied in some way. The best friend originally acted as the super supportive wingman for the main couple, but later he realized he had fallen in love with the female lead too. Fortunately, that didn't completely ruin his relationship with the male lead. I highly prefer that the best friend is not involved in a love triangle. Like in Mom, I'm Sorry. The best friend is the comedic type, but he's not just there for comedic relief. Like with other pairs, they've had misunderstandings too, but they don't last long. Although the best friend appears unreliable, he's someone that the male lead trusts and depend on a lot. They're so close to one another. They're pretty much brothers already. Speaking of brothers, the duo in Her Bucket List are also like brothers. Actually, if I remember correctly, they almost became official brothers. But it will be too spoilery if I say more. Anyway, the best friend here is super supportive, the proud dad, the number one fan in the male lead singing career, and the main couple's wingman. By the way, they are among the fruitiest duos featured in this video. It appears one-sided because it's the best friend who usually initiates, but it's not always one-sided. So, even if they quarrel with or tease each other a lot, they rely on each other the most. When the ML was still suffering from his trauma, the best friend never left his side nor had given up on him. And it's quite remarkable since the best friend has his own issues too, but he remained strong for his friend's sake. So really, he's like the personification of the ultimate supportive friend. The only thing he can't support much is if it's on the financial side, I guess. But that's not a problem with the next duo. Actually, both the male lead and the best friend in Unlovable Replacement are super rich, but the best friend is just wealthier in a much higher level. It's so much fun to see the best friend tease the ML, but also act as the ML's ultimate wingman for the main couple. The male lead was suffering from a breakup actually, and it was the ex's fault. And I think you guys can guess who got very annoyed with the ex. Yes, no one is allowed to hurt the ML, and whoever had hurt the ML, the best friend will bully them 10 times more. While for those who are nice to the ML, he will be supporting them 10 times more. He treasures the male lead so much that he cannot stand having the ML get angry at him, but he also can't help teasing the ML. Sometimes he teases a bit too much though, and his teases are more of the flirty side. And it's not just in actions, but even in words. The best friend's action to the ML are so fruity that it's on another level. Although the duo in Romance 101 don't tease each other too often, but they do annoy each other from time to time. It's sad that they had a fight that is pretty serious, that they didn't talk for a long time. But don't worry, it's not because of a girl, like what usually happens in most romance stories. Anyway, the development of their relationship is well executed, so you have to read this one. Maybe a lot of people will find their relationship quite relatable because they became close friends thanks to video games. By the way, they actually have matching usernames in their favorite game, and I find that so cute. Anyway, they're stuck to each other whether they like it or not. They may complain about it, but they're so happy about it too. On the third group, we'll check out the duos who are, well, done with school. So I'll consider them as working adults. The duo in A Business Proposal work for the same company, and they have this boss and secretary relationship. Since the male lead, who is the boss, is quite a workaholic, it gives the best friend a hard time. But the best friend wasn't the type of secretary who's being, seriously abused. The ML took good care of him and even treated him like a brother. It's nice to see them so supportive of one another. Similar to the earlier pair, the duo in See You in My 19th Life also has this boss and secretary relationship. But the secretary on this one is the grumpy type, I guess? I lost count on how many times he scolded the male lead, but I also lost count on how many times he gave his direct and indirect support to the male lead. He's quite that tsundere, you see. He doesn't admit on how much he cares about the male lead. But we know deep inside that he has always been on the male lead side since the day they became very close friends. At the beginning of the series, it may seem like it was the male lead who relies on the best friend a lot, but it's actually mutual. And no matter how many times the best friend had teased or bullied the ML protects him. And despite their clashing personalities and backgrounds, there's no one else who understands them better than each other. Well, putting aside their respective love interests, of course. Anyway, even if they don't directly admit it, they truly care and treasure each other a lot. Another pair with guys who aren't very honest with each other is this duo in Act Like You Love Me. Wait, only one of them isn't that honest since the other is quite direct, and the best friend is the direct one. While the male lead is sometimes forced to become cooperative with what the best friend wants. Wait. It actually goes the other way around too. So it's the male lead making the best friend do what he wants. Anyway, they both work in the entertainment industry and they only had each other whom they can truly trust and rely on. Well, they are each other's only friend. So no wonder they have become so close. Too bad, they also became love rivals though. But don't worry. That didn't completely ruin their relationship. They're still so close that even the female lead feels left out. With that, I think it's very clear that these two will remain the best of friends no matter what happens. The duo in Honey Lemon annoy each other in some way whenever they're together or not together. Most of the time, it's the best friend who is teasing the male lead. But the best friend does such a fine job as a wingman too. His other job is to act as the male lead's advisor. He also helps out the female lead and her best friend. Anyway, despite their strikingly contrasting personalities, they consider each other their best friend. They are really very supportive and caring for one another. Last but not the least is the bonus pair. There's something quite different about this duo, so I think it needs to have its own group. You see, the male lead here has the cutest best friend among all the other BFFs featured in this video. Drumroll please. Ta-da! Am I right? Or am I right? What? A dog is a man's best friend, right? And even if his pet gives him a hard time, the male lead loves it a lot. Fine. Kidding aside, here is his human best friend. Well, those who have caught up with the series might not be very pleased with their relationship. You see, these guys are from the series Trash Belongs in the Trash Can, and both of them are trash. But even if they have trashy personality, I still recommend this duo because, how do I put it? They're likable scum? Well, one of the main problems in their relationship is that the best friend has this one-sided obsession towards the male lead. It's quite toxic and we haven't even seen the best friend do stalking. Well, not yet at least. But putting aside the best friend's creepy and disturbing side, I think it's safe to say that they genuinely love and care for one another. Sadly, I doubt they're going to have a happy ending, but I still want them to be happy. Alright, I hope I had helped you in finding something new to be excited about, but I'm sure that I have missed something. Either I forgot or I haven't read it yet. So, it will be highly appreciated if you can share your recommendations in the comments. And if you liked the video, please click the like button. Aside from the views and comments, the number of likes also helps me to know how much people are enjoying this type of content. And in case you already know about the titles featured in this video, or if you want more, of course, there are plenty of other webtoons with exciting bromance other than the ones featured in this video. They just happen to be outside of this video's scope criteria. Like, they're just under a different genre, setting, or trope. So, to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again. Take care!